everyone, this is me Mohammad Hasnain and I'm again with you guys once more. Last time we talked about, that intro was a bit weird. Honestly, I just like having fun with these two voices. So last time we talked about this puberty topic a little while ago, and we were talking about how important it was to understand the changes that come in children and how important it was for children to get guidance and seek guidance from adults in their puberty stage. Today we are talking about the mental and physical changes that occur in puberty. Let me talk about that in detail in just a while, but before that I would like to say, hopefully you guys are enjoying and hopefully you guys are having a good day. To any adult out there, if a child is seeking help, if they are going through such a phase which they haven't went to or haven't been through, you should help them, because you see, we have been through such phases, we know what to do and we do not panic if something weird happens. But say that child, he can panic and it can be a very bad thing. He can do something bad to himself. He can build insecurities and trauma that will last a lifelong, and that can affect him very negatively. Now coming back to the topic, let's talk about the different changes I felt in my body and all of these things that were going through with me. As you guys know, I do calisthenics, which is a body weight form of exercise, which includes many different body weight exercises obviously, which are push-ups, pull-ups and all of those things. And I always wondered why I wasn't strong enough to do some kinds of push-ups. Like I saw people do like those perfect push-ups where instead of this, it went like this. So I used to wonder, why wasn't I strong enough to do that? Why wasn't I strong enough for a pull-up? Why wasn't I building muscles and why wasn't I doing all of this? But it was in recent months that because of exercising, I felt myself get a bit of muscles, not a lot honestly speaking, and grow a bit better looking. So that was a big change first of all. The thing is that as children you cannot build muscle, but when you are going through puberty and after puberty, you actually start building muscle, and that's where your real muscles come out. So if anybody's wondering about that, that's just a little additional info I gave. Now coming to the main things that I experienced was height changes. That was one of the biggest thing, because before I was like, for example, this was my real height, the height which I am sitting at, this was kind of my real height, and now it's a lot taller, and I would say that I'm even taller than my mother, and I'm even taller than some of my family members, and that includes some other people as well. So I was around the same height, and honestly speaking, the clothes that my uncle he wore, that those can fit me as well, so I've tried that on as well. So I'm just giving a little bit of an info. Other than that, other than height changes, I also experienced facial changes. I'd always been proud of myself for having a more, that I don't know how to say, but spherical shape of face. I had that cutie patootie type of face, if you understand what I'm saying. So it was always like this cuteness that came out, but suddenly out of nowhere I started getting these, my cheeks became a bit hollow for some reason, and my jawline was a bit more prominent, if you want to say that. My nose grew a lot, honestly speaking, and now it looks very much big in contrast to my face. Teeth are obviously, since your face will grow, so they don't grow over time. So your teeth come out bigger than they are normally, and as you guys can see, my teeth are pretty in good shape. And to everybody saying you don't brush, it's the filters that my cameraman turns on. I have a lot of issues with my editors and cameramen. It's the filters. It's not actually that my teeth are yellow. It's that there are filters that they turn on, and there are all of those contrasting color thingies, whatever they do, that cause that type of change. So got pretty good, pretty nice facial features before, but suddenly out of nowhere now I'm having a unibrow like those cartoon characters that don't have eyes. Instead they just have this straight line which is an eyebrow. So I'm getting that kind of look. My eyes are a bit smaller or a bit bigger, depends on how the way you want to look at it. And other than that, there are a few other changes as well, such as sudden aggression. I just felt like I wanted to beat down on something. I wanted to just like crash out and just fight somebody for some reason. I don't know why. I've always been the more calm and the more, understanding person among my siblings, which is only my sister. So lots of times I would just not do anything. If she said anything, I would just be calm. Instead, I'll just complain about it perhaps, but I would not really take any actions. But recently it's been intolerable for me. Sorry about that fumble. It's been intolerable for me, and it's been a big issue for me, and I've experienced many different other changes. Other than that, there were changes in the groin area and the crouch area, which every child has to go through. And if you're experiencing issues with that, there are separate videos about that as well. You can watch those later at another time. I won't be discussing that because of moderation issues and all of those other things. Now, coming into topic, there are also the other changes, which is the emotional changes. The way you feel things, the way you understand things become drastically different. You are no longer a child, but the reality is that you're going to be shown things such as death, such as people or animals dying, such as all of those things. And lots of children, even though many see death and understand death way before puberty comes in and hits them like a train, but for those people who don't know that, suddenly you have many different other things that you have to take care of. You're now a teenager. You should understand the importance of death, the importance of arrival, such as birth in your family, the importance of going on, such as your grandparents leaving you, or maybe even perhaps your parents leaving you, which will be a very unfortunate event, and I'm sorry for everyone that has to go through that. But it's the reality, everyone has to go, and we have to understand to cope with such feelings. Other than that, you are now more responsible. You cannot be accounted as a child anymore. If you make a mistake, you cannot say that I'm a child, I cannot be held accountable for that, because you will be held accountable, because you are no longer a child, you are a grown person, and you are sooner or later going to be known as a citizen of the country and as a responsible citizen of the country. So it's important to understand that as well. The mood swings, these moments of aggression, of sadness, say, and religiousness, and that motivation you get, and all of those things, those are pretty normal. So let me tell you, I really have these weird things going on with me as well. I have these moments where I'm like, what am I doing with my life? What is all this accountable for? What is the benefit of all this? And that's like the sadness, and that's like the existential dread mood. Then there's the, you know what, I want to pick you up, I want to break your butt, and I want to throw you in the trash can. And you get so angry sometimes you just want to fight objects even. So yes, that is one thing too. So say if there is something that's just icking you, for example, I was the other day working in the kitchen, and I was making some coffee for myself, and there was this one cabinet door that just won't shut, and it was just hitting me in the head again and again when I was moving around. And in the end I got so angry, I just started punching it, and then I realized that I'm a total dumbass for punching a thing that cannot feel pain, and instead I'm just hurting myself. I am not Tommy Tough Knuckles, I cannot give a knuckle sandwich like that, I don't have fighting skills, although I am quite strong because of working out. But I am not the type of guy who punches walls for fun or punches steel for fun. So I am not that kind of guy who would harm himself just to look cool or to do all of those things. So you get angry a lot of times. Other than that, there are many different other emotions as well. Suddenly you feel motivated, you want to start anew, you want to do something new, you start a different project, you start a different skill, you start, for example, I start drawing because I like drawing. I'll even show you guys some of my drawings as well. I am currently working on a few pieces. I don't really, there are a few things that I like reading. I really like Japanese cartoon called anime. I don't really watch anime, honestly speaking, but I read manga and manhwa. So all of those things, and also the novel form of manga and manhwa, which is the light novels that people don't know about. So I really like those as well, and lots of people say you're a weeb for that, but that's not really the case. Since it's your personal choice, you can do whatever you like. But I really like to draw certain characters in certain poses, and I'll even show you guys, since I've never really shown you guys my art pieces. Recently I was working on this art piece, which was this one character. I'm going to be adding another pose of him here, and then a pose of him surprised right here. So I'm going to be working on different pieces of art sooner or later, and those are going to be coming in handy. So you can grab a few skills for when you feel these emotions and portray those emotions clearly through what you feel, and that will help you become better or feel better than you were feeling a little while ago. So that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Allah Hafiz.